Hey, let's get this really clear. 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, but definitely 80% of the time, the rate you get on your mortgage is damn important. Now, you're going to hear so many people online, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. You're going to hear all kinds of stories from mortgage people, and you're going to hear it from bank mortgage reps. You're going to hear from everybody. Oh, rate is not the most important thing. Fuck off. It's the most important thing for the vast majority of people. Let me explain. Start from here. You got to qualify for the mortgage. You're buying a house, you get pre-qualified. Sometimes there's surprises. Sometimes the income you thought you had, because of the way that banks approach income and how they want to have certain parameters, is maybe not quite what you thought it was. And it was a little harder, but you worked your way through it. You found a way. Then maybe the property might be very unusual. We've actually seen a bunch of really unusual properties lately. Weird situations like, shared wells, and everybody needs to investigate that and see if there's a side agreement. I won't bother you with all the bullshit, but yeah, there's little oddities in properties can slow you right down. There's also sometimes there's some technical reasons, because there's some people own another house, and sometimes it's just the credit doesn't work. That's rare though. Most people actually know they have bad credit and they don't go searching for a house. People who know their credit is just shit, they don't think about getting a mortgage. Sometimes, but very, very seldom. So credit's not really a big deal anymore. People who come in to look for a mortgage, they know they have decent credit. So most people qualify. Like, most people do qualify for a mortgage. The majority of people do qualify for a mortgage. So if that's true, then there's a couple of product decisions. So I'm agreeing, like, rate's not 100% of everything all the time. But there's only a few product decisions. Does it have good prepayment? Does the mortgage have a good prepayment? Can you can you pay down the mortgage a lot faster? Is it easy? Is it convenient? Maybe you want to think about some other things about the mortgage. Maybe you want to add a home equity line of credit to it. Maybe you want to you want to triple check the portability and all that stuff. Worthy things, okay? But every big lender in this country, they look about the same. Final thing is penalty. Penalty is a bit more mysterious. On a variable rate, one of the only advantages, maybe the most telling advantage of a variable rate is it's only 3 months interest. 3 months interest is right in the contract. You break the mortgage, and not everybody breaks the mortgage. I mean, never listen to that bullshit. As soon as somebody starts to tell you, 65% of all mortgage holders will break the mortgage before the end of year 3. You look them in the eye and you say, you're a fucking liar. That's a lie. That's a total lie. It is a lie. It's a small number, because you can add a HELOC, you can change something, you could add a mortgage component. People don't need to break to get the things that they need. And sure as hell, not everybody's selling a house after 3 years. We know that's nuts. Or before 3 years. We know that's crazy talk. So yeah, they're lying. They're lying to you. Not everybody breaks. Not 65% break before year 3. That's just bullshit. So penalty for variables, very straightforward, 3 months interest. And for fixed rate penalty, it's more mysterious. It's hard to figure out. There are a couple of websites out there that can help. And in theory, the mortgage company themselves, the lender, the bank, whoever it is, should have a page on their website where you can do that calculation. So these things are meaningful, but for most people, they're not meaningful. Most people will be able to make a little bit of prepayment, but not a ton. Most people will, get to the end of the mortgage and won't have broken the mortgage, and then they can plan for their next move. I mean, they're not that important. So 80% of the time, the only differentiating thing about the mortgage is the rate. Sure, you got to decide variable or fixed. Yes, you do. But once you do that, get the best rate. There's lots of easy ways to look. There's companies like WOWA, WOWA.ca. There's companies like RateHub. There's others, rates.ca. You can study rates. You can get into it. Oh, Ron, I don't think those are always the right rates. They're not. They're pretty close. Sometimes you have to know what buttons to click on, but they're very they're normally right. It normally is about right. And that is the correct, that rate is available. Okay. So thing to say is this: get the best mortgage rate, because why not? It's just free money. It's just free money. It's like, oh, I can get exactly the same car for $2,000 less. Like, it's exactly the same car. Like, every button, every tint, every single thing about the car is identical. It rolled off the assembly line on the same day, okay, in the same hour. It's the same, okay? If you get it for $2,000 less, would you take it for $2,000 less? Fucking rights you would, okay? So that's the same with a mortgage. Once a few of these details are out of the way, they're all the same. They work the same way. And why not get a better deal? Just take the better deal. But why are you constantly told that rate's not important? Why is everyone say, they'll say everything. They'll say, oh, rate's not important because great service is important. What the fuck is service in the mortgage business? Either you get it or you don't, okay? Like, come on. The service stuff is a bunch of bullshit. Next, they'll say, oh, but we have a brilliant tax plan and there's investment and you're going to pay your mortgage off much quicker because of this magical product. It was made from magic beans and they sprinkled pixie dust on it and it's much better than everybody else's. But to worry about the rate, no, the rate's not important. Just look at the magic, okay? They're all liars. Like, fuck them. That's just a lie. It's stupid, okay? And when they say, oh, do you know some banks won't offer you this kind of prepayment? Also a lie. I mean, like, at the worst, it's 10 and 10 lump sum, 10 increase the payment, 10 and 10 per year. So that's actually 50% over the course of 5 years. And most are like 20-20. A lot of them are like 20% increased payment, 20% lump sum deposit. That's the same through almost all of them. Same with credit unions. It's very much the same. But why and sometimes the bank reps, they say, well, you don't want to, if you're the RBC guy, you say, yeah, don't think I would ever consider taking CIBC. They are not the quality of bank that RBC is. Fuck, who cares? I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a mortgage. You're getting the money to buy the house and you're making a payment. Nobody needs to talk about the quality of the lender. I mean, Jesus. I mean, look, that's all bullshit. So why do they do it? Why do so many people in so many TikToks, so many Instagrams, so many Facebook videos, so many people are telling you, everybody in the mortgage industry is telling you, no, it's not about rate. Why? Because they don't have the best rate. That's why. Having the best rate is fucking hard, okay? We do it. And we can't do it 100% of the time, but we discount. We work for much less commission. We work for like 60% less commission than the average mortgage person does, okay? Because we pour it all back into getting lower rates. It's that simple. There's other companies like ours. There's True North. There's Rate Hub. They work the same way. But the real important thing to remember is when somebody tells you rate's not important, they're trying to make more commission. Okay, that's why they're saying it. That's the only reason.